You are scrolling through YouTube on a random Sunday afternoon, and you see it. How I Became a Millionaire in 18 Months. Turn $1,000 into $1 million with this simple trick. And for 1 second you think, wait, am I missing something? You work hard. You make decent money. But when you open your bank account, it definitely does not look like millionaire progress. Here is the problem. Financial advice online falls into two extremes. On one side, you have the get-rich-quick crowd. Crypto secrets, day trading systems, drop shipping hacks. And on the other side, you have the super slow advice. Just invest for 40 years and maybe you will be comfortable when you are 65. Neither of those answers work. But here is what most people never realize. Building real wealth does not take 40 years, and it definitely does not happen in 6 months. But 5 years. 5 years is actually enough time to completely change your financial life if you focus on the right things. In this video, I am going to show you the realistic path to building serious financial momentum in the next 5 years. Not the flashy version, the version that actually works. Let us start with the first uncomfortable truth. Wealth is not built through saving alone. Saving money is important. But saving alone is like trying to fill a swimming pool using a teaspoon. Someone saves $300 per month. That is actually better than most people. Nearly 40% of Americans cannot cover a $400 emergency without borrowing money. So saving $300 per month is solid. But let us look at the math. $300 a month, $3,600 a year. Over 5 years, that is $18,000. Even with 8% annual return, you end up with roughly $21,000 to $22,000. That is good, but it is not life-changing. Because here is what most people completely miss. The biggest driver of wealth in the first 5 years is not investing. It is income growth. Early in your financial journey, your most powerful asset is not your savings account. It is your earning ability. Think of your income like the engine of a car. If your engine is small, no amount of clever steering will make the car go fast. You need more horsepower. If you increase your income, everything else becomes easier. Saving becomes easier. Investing becomes easier. Debt disappears faster. Let us look at two people. Person A earns $3,000 per month and saves 10%. That is $300 per month. Person B spends the first 2 years improving skills, negotiating raises, building side income. Income grows to $5,000 per month. Same 10% saved, that is $500 per month. That difference alone adds up to $12,000 more savings in 5 years. And if the gap grows even larger, the difference becomes massive. Step 1. Increase your income. I know what you are thinking. If it were that easy, everyone would do it. Look, income growth does not happen overnight. But most people underestimate how much their income can grow in 5 years. 5 years is enough time to learn a valuable skill, change careers, start a side business, negotiate multiple raises. Data shows that workers who switch jobs increase their salary 10 to 20% on average. Do that twice in 5 years, and your income looks completely different. But income alone is not enough. Because here is the second trap people fall into. Lifestyle inflation. You get a raise and suddenly you upgrade everything. Better apartment, better car, more expensive habits. Your income increases, but your bank account stays exactly the same. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. Your brain quickly gets used to improvements. That new car feels amazing for 3 months, then it becomes normal. And suddenly you want the next upgrade. Step 2. Lock in your savings rate. Here is a rule that works incredibly well. Every time your income increases, save at least half of the raise. Income increases by $1,000 per month. You automatically invest $500 of it. The other $500 you are free to enjoy. This one rule alone prevents lifestyle inflation from stealing your progress. Now this is where investing finally comes in. Step 3. Make your money work. Once you have consistent savings, those dollars need a job. And historically, one of the most reliable tools for long-term wealth has been broad market investing. The S&P 500 has returned roughly 10% annually on average over the last century. Consistent investing has been one of the most effective wealth-building strategies ever available. Quick 5-year example. You invest $1,000 per month. Over 5 years, that is $60,000 invested. With moderate market growth, that could become around $70,000 or more. But here is what most people do not realize. The real magic is not the 5 years. It is the momentum you build during those 5 years. Because once you reach that level, the next 5 years accelerate dramatically. A friend of mine spent his early 20s constantly stressing about money. Savings were tiny, income barely covered expenses. But he made one decision. For 5 years, he focused on 3 things only: increasing income, avoiding lifestyle inflation, investing consistently. Nothing flashy, no risky trades, just discipline. 5 years later, he had over $80,000 invested, and his income had doubled, which meant the next 5 years were going to move even faster. That is how wealth actually builds, not overnight, but through compounding momentum. So here is your realistic roadmap. First, focus on increasing your income. Your earning ability is your most powerful financial asset. Second, protect yourself from lifestyle inflation. Save at least half of every raise. Third, invest consistently in long-term assets that grow over time. Fourth, stay consistent for the full 5 years. Because here's the truth most people do not like hearing. Wealth does not come from one brilliant decision. It comes from hundreds of small decisions repeated consistently. 5 years from now is going to arrive, whether you prepare for it or not. The only question is what your financial life will look like when it gets here. Will you still feel stuck? Or will you have built the kind of momentum that makes the next decade completely different? Because sometimes the difference between staying broke and building wealth is simply choosing a better strategy and giving it enough time to work. If this video helped you, hit subscribe and drop a comment below. Where do you want your finances to be 5 years from today? Because that future starts with the decisions you make right now.